Hey there, today we are making stuffed mushrooms. If you love these as an appetizer, these are really easy to make and everybody will love them. So start with some baby bellas. You're gonna take the stem out. So usually if you just move it back and forth, it just reveals this crater kind of on the inside, and that's what we're gonna put the stuffing in. Now when you have these extra stems, you can throw them in your veggie scrap bag that you'll use for soup later, or you could chop them up and add them to anything. There's nothing wrong with those. They're exactly the same. We just need to have that indentation. So add all of your mushroom caps to a bowl. I've already drizzled a little bit of olive oil and salt and pepper in here. I'm just gonna toss them to coat, and then we're gonna put them right on the air fryer rack. So these cook in the air fryer. They're so simple, and I'm telling you, the flavor is outstanding. So set them all on your rack. I'm making a half batch today. Your filling is easy. We've got some cream cheese and mozzarella cheese already in the bowl. And to this, we're going to add some green onion. So just slice off the tips and then slice them as thin as you can. You know, if your knife skills aren't great, just do your best. You want to slice them as small as you can, because that cheese mixture is going into a really small area. So we want to make sure that it sits in there really nicely. I love the flavor of green onion here. If you're not an onion fan, you can skip it, but it's really, really delicious. All right, we're gonna add that to the cream cheese, and we're gonna add some of our garlic and herb rub. This stuff is excellent, and it shows up both in the filling and in the topping. So I'm doing a half batch. So you just need a 1/4 teaspoon in here. I love this stuff, so good. And it calls for fresh spinach. I didn't have any. So I'm gonna introduce you to kale and fiber. It is part of our enrichables. It's just dehydrated kale. It's really, really fine. I'm just gonna dip my teaspoon measure in here. See how fine that is? Okay, there's no other ingredient in here at all. So I'm just gonna add that. And then we need 3/4 of a teaspoon of red wine vinegar. This just gives a little bit of a tanginess to our recipe, which is amazing. And then a little bit of black pepper. That's all that goes into that filling. Okay, so just mix it up until it comes up into a little paste. And then we're gonna scoop it right into our mushroom caps. Now, if you are preparing for a gathering and it's the next day, you can have your, your cream cheese mixture done. You could even stuff them. I would probably just wait to do the topping until right before you wanna bake them, but you probably could get away with it either way. So I've got the small scoop, and I'm just adding it right to the top of our mushroom caps. Everything's gonna get nice and melty, and that roasted flavor of your mushrooms is a real wow. It's absolutely wonderful. It will remind you of, those hearty appetizers you'd get at a nice restaurant, and you can pull it off at home so easily. Okay, now, let's see, there's a little bit more. I'll put it in this one. Okay, now we're gonna take it over the top. So you wanna use some breadcrumbs. I used panko, but you don't have to, and I'm also using gluten-free breadcrumbs here. So I've got breadcrumbs, a little bit of melted butter, and more of that garlic and herb rub. What you're gonna do is you're gonna take your mushrooms very gently and then just press it into that crumb mixture. And it pushes the rest of your cream cheese right inside, and it gives this really wonderful texture for your appetizer. Now, when you are planning to do this for a gathering, I recommend that you buy 2 packages of those mushrooms, which the recipe calls for anyway, but get an extra so that you can pull out the big ones for this and then use the smaller ones for a different recipe. Okay, and these are ready. All we have left to do is to roast them. So let's head over to the air fryer and we'll get these started. So your air fryer has multiple settings. Today we're using the roast setting. So you want to turn your dial until roast shows up. Okay, open it up. If you are doing 2 racks worth, you're going to put one on the bottom and one on the top, and then you'll rotate them halfway through. There we go. All right, and we are going to roast. I'm going to double check the time. I think it's 15 minutes. It is 15 minutes on roast. So just turn your dial. Whoops. Once you have it on roast, you need to press it inward. Adjust the time to 15 minutes. Press start, and the air fryer is going to do all its work. We'll look at the finished product in just a little bit.